Just 1 year ago, CJ Stroud shocked the NFL world by completely turning the Texans franchise around with one of the greatest rookie seasons ever. Well, just 4 games into this NFL season, Jayden Daniels has almost surpassed Stroud's EPA on the entire year. Daniels has burst onto the scene, completing a record 82.1% of his passes. That's not just the highest all-time for a rookie, no, this is the best 4-game sample of any season ever, any stretch ever in NFL history. Today we'll dive into how he's setting records, how he's so accurate, and all the different things he's doing to annihilate defenses. To give you an idea of how good this Commanders offense has been, they've recorded 23 scoring drives compared to just 19 incomplete passes. Daniels looks completely cool, calm, and collected on each and every play, and while we'll get into his accuracy and movement abilities a bit later, it's his mental processing that's really changed the Commanders' offense. On 3rd and 4, this looks like a relatively simple concept, but believe me, in football, it almost never is. The Cardinals are in man coverage, and the Commanders are running this dig, sail, whip route combination out of a 3-man bunch formation. When facing man coverage, offenses try to create picks. Let's say we run Noah Brown right at Garrett Williams, then shot Olamide Zaccheaus under him. It'd be wide open. So defenses have different bunch checks to handle this formation to negate different route combos, and offensive coordinators know it, so they try to scheme against them. The defense can use a lock and level bunch check, which is straight man coverage. They can use a traffic check, where Williams mans up the point receiver, the on-the-ball guy, and the other 2 defenders play in-out coverage. Or the defense can play top hat, where Williams takes an off-the-ball guy instead. That is what they do. Williams takes Zach Ertz, the other 2 play in and out, and when Zaccheaus starts underneath, Buda Baker switches onto him, which ends up being the perfect call by Cliff Kingsbury, and a perfectly accurate throw from Daniels helps them barely pick up the first down. How did Daniels know what was happening? Well, we can see Williams tap his head indicating top hat, so that gives Daniels a clue, but it could be a fake sign, it could really be any of the checks. Hell, it could be zone coverage too, where if the cornerback is playing the flat, the concept is dead in the water, but Daniels processes everything and knows where to go with the football to convert the first down, and they eventually score on the drive. You don't just set records by being really talented and getting lucky. Daniels has meticulous execution and a knack for stealing yardage. Before we dive deeper into exactly what that means, I want to thank this week's sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports site where you can pick a player every day. They have any sport you can think of. You can predict a million different stats. If you want to make sports even more fun and win money doing it, PrizePicks has got you covered. To play, you choose 2 to 6 players and select whether they go more or less than their projection. This week, I'll take Jayden Daniels more than 213.5. I'll put my money where this video's mouth is. And I'll take less on Connor because I think he'll get game scripted out of rushing the ball. PrizePicks has the fastest withdrawals of any daily fantasy app I've used. You load up the app, you're done super quick, it is so easy. They're also doing a deal where if you use my promo code Rollins, you put in $5, they will give you $50 for free. That's promo code Rollins. Jayden Daniels' mental processing is exceptional, but what I really think has elevated his completion percentage sky high is his ability to use his feet to extend plays just a half extra second. When the initial play design isn't open when he gets to the top of his drop, he's able to slide just a few steps to create just that much more time to create that open space, and he's deadly throwing on the run. His on-the-run ability translates to him erasing negative plays, where here almost every quarterback is taking a sack or throwing it out of bounds or incomplete. Daniels is constantly figuring out ways to gain positive yardage, so 2nd and 3rd downs are more manageable and the offense isn't too backed up. The Bengals ran a couple cover 0 pressures at him. They couldn't stop him all night long, so in the 4th quarter they said, "Fuck it, let's send the house." But it didn't work. Cover 0 is straight man coverage, 0 deep safeties, but we're bringing one more pass rusher than the offense's blockers, A nightmare situation for any quarterback, especially a rookie who isn't supposed to know what the hell's going on. But watch how Jayden has Jermaine Pratt free off the edge, then just calmly sidesteps him and converts this 3rd and 2 to pick up the first down. One of the main drawbacks to cover 0 is there's no deep safety like I said, so no help deep. So now on 3rd and 7, with the Commies winning 31-26 late in the 4th quarter, Daniels shows he can erase the free runner not just with his legs, but with his mind and arm, and throws a perfect ball to Terry in the corner for the win. Even on plays where he's not anticipating having to use his legs and not anticipating the pass rush, he's able to erase the mistakes of his teammates and still pick up positive yardage. The Commanders are running one of the most common types of protections called jet, a 6-man protection, where one side man blocks 1-on-1, so these 3 zone slide, meaning it's 3-on-2, where they can also get another body on Dexter Lawrence, and then they'll pick up the linebacker if he blitzes. This leaves the running back Austin Ekeler to scan the 2 threats, Micah McFadden the linebacker and Drew Phillips the nickel, and you can see his eyes are trained on Drew Phillips, so he'll block him if he comes. However, he should first be looking at McFadden, who does rush. Ekeler doesn't see him, but even though this should be blocked up scheme-wise, Daniels is still able to squirt outside and pick up positive yardage. Typically, young quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, who have been elite runners their entire football careers take off at the first sign of pressure, but Daniels has an unbelievable sense for moving only when he has to and can dominate from inside the pocket. This is a variation of Nick Saban's cover 7 pattern match quarters coverage, where the linebacker is going to post up the tight end, and then it happens to play out as straight man coverage. If Daniels wasn't as polished, he'd start to get antsy at the top of his drop because nobody is open. But watch him process the corner isn't going to fall off his man, and he holds this till the last second and lets her rip. You can tell he's not just reading the defensive coverages, he's understanding them way beyond a rookie level, and he has the arm talent to back up what he's seeing. The Cardinals look like they have some sort of too high coverage, which would not lend itself to this throw in the deep out. Quarterbacks want cover 3 for the deep out, because the cornerbacks put their butts to the sideline and drop deep to cover deep, which allows for the deep out route to come open underneath them. Cover 3 has a curl flat dropper to each side to try and cover up this out area, which is what makes this throw so impressive. And that's because 1, Daniels deciphers they're disguising their cover 3 until after the snap, and 2, he notices the Cardinals are using linebacker Julian Okwara, who is on the line of scrimmage and has way more ground to cover than a typical curl flat defender. This is a ton to process, but for Daniels, he just calmly takes the snap and rips the Cardinals defense to shreds. Another extra aspect he adds to this offense, which is crucial, the Commanders' QB run game with him is deadly. With all the talk of teams playing too high safety coverages, Mel Kiper be damned, keeping your second safety deep to defend the pass makes it harder to defend the QB run, because the defense has one less body in the box, which they need to defend the typically unaccounted for quarterback. This has created an advantage for the Commanders, because then teams have to roll down the second safety and play one high, such as cover 3 like we saw in the Cardinals example, with the 2 corners and 1 safety deep, so Washington knows they can dictate coverages to the defense. It's even better having Jayden Daniels too, not just any running quarterback, because like we saw with him using his legs to extend the pass, he can break defensive advantages with the run. Typical QB run zone read concepts have an unblocked defender that the quarterback reads. If Joseph Ossai stays up the field for the keep, Daniels hands it to Brian Robinson, and if Ossai crashes on Robinson, Daniels keeps it outside. Defenses often try to scrape exchange, where they'll crash Ossai on Robinson and have Pratt loop over top for Daniels. But since they're blitzing Pratt because Robinson was torching them, Ossai uses what's called a surf technique to defend both of them. This is the Bengals trying to get a little cute here. But it actually works. Ossai is sitting right there for Daniels. Lou Anarumo has won the matchup on the chalkboard, but this is Jayden Daniels, and he erases the defensive advantage. That is what he's been doing all season. Well, just these 4 games he's played in, and he's on a historic stretch, one of the best of literally all time in the NFL. He's able to sit in the pocket and dice teams up, extend the play slightly with his legs and maintain accuracy on the run, erase his teammates' mistakes and the defense's advantages, and utilize the QB run game to add an extra dimension to this offense. There are a couple of things I've seen on film that makes me think Cliff Kingsbury's offense won't keep rolling at quite the same clip. But regardless, the start to Daniels' career is beyond belief, simply unreal. The Washington Commanders have without a doubt found their guy and are suddenly very much playoff relevant. With Jayden Daniels just beginning his career, the present and the future is absolutely sky high.